Weird ass noises, man. Ugh, excuse me.
Let's get into it. 1, 2, 3.
Why, hello, and welcome to My Whiskey Den, your favorite public access whiskey review show where craft whiskey is king. Mike and I are happy to have you with us tonight. Morgan and Mitch are not going to be here this evening, but we are going to take you through some of our holiday gift ideas that we actually think are pretty decent. We've gone through this over a couple years, so we might have honed down a list or found something new. So I'm kind of excited about this. Thanks, Jesse, Tater. I was going to say good to see both of you here bright and early. Mike, do you want to tell everyone in the chat about Bar Cart Co-op?
I was just thinking that's what I wanted to do.
I before we went further, I knew you wanted to get it off your chest. It eats at you if you don't tell people.
It's like a wart. All right.
All right. Here's a quarter. Go downtown and get a rat and all that.
Get a rat and all that thing off your face. All right. So we are proud members of the Bar Cart Co-op, which is a collection of friends who create content for the whiskey and other distilled spirits public. The Bar Cart Co-op YouTube and Facebook pages have information about upcoming and past special shows, which happen about every quarter, from blind tastings to distiller panels to discussions of special collaborations and the usage of unique grains. The Bar Cart Co-op has educational and fun episodes for your enjoyment. The oldest show in the group is Distillers Talk, hosted by Christy Atkinson and Alan Bishop. It is a conversation with people from distilleries and distillery adjacent that gets into deep and sometimes off the rails and back again discussions with their interviews. New episodes arrive at the end of the work week. And if that show is not nerdy enough, please check out One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute. This is the show where Alan Bishop answers any questions about distilling and often puts them to the test. It could be individual grains, mash bills, equipment, and methodology. New episodes come out randomly, so subscribe. And then we have the silkiest voice on the internet, Bourbon Turntable, where they mix the love of music with the love of whiskey. They have conversations with musicians, writers, distillery folks, and common folks like us about, you guessed it, music and whiskey. It releases every Wednesday on all your platforms, including the YouTube. And then we have If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything, which is a show about the spirits and paranormal among us, as well as the unexplained and the spiritual. Subscribe on Spotify to get the 4 previous seasons and the 5th one, which is on the way. And the last, but certainly not least, we have the Whiskey Ring podcast, where David Levine does great interviews. David Levine does really good whiskey reviews. David Levine does a really good award show. David does all the things that we won't do.
Well, we do a good award show.
Well, he does. He just does everything a little better.
Well, that's true, but I'm just saying our award show is not bad. So, this evening, we are going to start talking about some things that you may want to buy people as a gift if they are into whiskey. Now, I have a list of some stuff here. Mike, do you want to pick it off? I'm going to reach behind me and grab something to drink, so hold on a second.
You go ahead and do your reaching behind. I'll start off with a couple of things here, which I think will be pretty easy and self-explanatory, as we have talked about some things to do in the past. And, you know, it is Christmas time, so you've got the year ahead. And one of the things that you might want to look at is a destination trip and or festival. And 2 of them that we have talked about a lot because we have gone to them a lot. And we know the people that are involved in the putting on of these festivals, but these will come as no surprise. First one is Distill America, which, as we have said I don't know, about 1,000 times about going to Distill America, but you can go to distillamerica.com and check it out. They did update the date because it previously did say May 17th.
That's
and
what
now
I
it has
thought too
moved.
until just now. I was unaware of that, which makes
So, and as you can see on this, it takes place outdoors in this soccer field now, and there is a lot of room around there. A lot of room for expansion, and also room for you to walk around.
yes.
And yeah,
Well, you
highly
have
recommend it.
space where let's say we've been to other festivals and it's 40 and it seems crammed. This is
Yeah.
90 and you have a little bit of room. You're not on top of people. Even if a booth is busy, you don't feel like people are breathing over the top of you.
No, and again, it's the spacing out is really nice because you can walk around as you should be doing. And it being on a soccer field is drainage. And so aside from the fact that there's things for you to dump into, you can dump it on the field. It's totally okay. So highly recommend Distill America. The tickets should be popping up here pretty soon for the sale. Get them. It's up to you on whether or not you want to spend the money on VIP to get in sooner or to do the classes. It's 100% on you. So then another one which we have gone to quite a bit, which we highly recommend that you check out, is our other friends at Bourbon on the Banks. So this one is in October. These two festivals, the one thing that they have in common is they are not for profit. So they both go to charities and or charitable organizations and for scholarships. Also, the vibe in both of them is pretty low key. Cost to get in lower than a lot of other festivals. And they don't take tickets for every drink when you go in there. They also do provide things like Bourbon on the Banks. There's always lots and lots of water. Distill America, there's always a hydration anti-hangover people right when you go in the door.
Walk in the door,
telling you
stuff to you.
Start off now and be responsible. So highly recommend these two for two different destination places to go to. And I have two more destinations that also do double duty. Yes, I said duty. One of them is one we've been to many, many times, and you just got to go there because they don't ship. Go to the Whiskey Thief. They now have two locations. There was one in downtown Louisville in the Nulu area.
Really?
Yes, they do. It is. I have not been to that because last time I was there, they opened like right after. So I missed out on that. And I'm going to go ahead and pop a link to them in the chat so you can check that out. But yeah, go there. So they have, and they do where you can barrel or bottle your own from a barrel at the other location as well.
So they give you but probably not 4 or 5 options, but
no, they do actually.
Oh, wow.
They do. They still, they have all the options and stuff, and it looks really, really cool. But the big thing is that the Whiskey Thief farm itself is beautiful. Totally worth it. Just you don't have to do the tour. Just do a tasting.
It covers most of it, anyways. To be honest,
it covers quite a bit of it. And what's really cool. Go back on the Thief. So I didn't even think about this one bit, but our friend Kevin from Bourbon Turntable, Kevin had this idea. There was 2 weddings he went to in May, and one of them was his son's, and he went to Whiskey Thief in the morning and bottled a couple of bottles, which had that bottling date. One was to have at the reception, and another one is for a gift, and he did that for our friend Drew as well. So tastes way better than Blanton's. And the fact that it's missing a horsey, but you bottled it yourself, and it's pretty darn cool. So highly recommend that one. Another one
holds on to a special date, and a lot of times, to be honest, when you're doing something like that, you may want people to sign the bottle.
Yes.
Sorry, something else to kind of keep. You're getting it for a special purpose. You might as well bring a Sharpie with and really have something stick to it. So.
And I would also like to recommend another destination spot that pretty much everything's in place there, but is our friends at Old Homestead. The hotel is there and in action. So as you're seeing this picture over here, this is 75% of this is hotel. The back of it, from the second Owen Saloon over, that's the distillery, just about, or at least the distillery that you can look at. Far off to the left in a whole nother building is the winery, and over to the right is another building, which is the brewery. So there are silos that you can stay into. I think they have yurts as well. It is on a lake. There's boats. There's even a boat that has a bathroom on it.
Yeah,
there's a barge. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, room rates are really good. But this hotel that you're looking at on the screen right here, it's new. This is all newly done.
Yep.
I got to check it out a couple months ago. So I highly recommend doing that. The distillery itself should be opening soon. I believe they have all the label approval. Labels have been made. And so all this product that's bottled and sitting, I think, is ready to go. So that is it for my destination part.
Well, and I like that one too, because I know you mentioned, but it's something that gives you a winery, a brewery, and a distillery all in a very walkable area and distance. So it gives a little bit to everybody in the group. If you're looking at alcoholic area, or someone likes this or that, you can go pick up a bottle or a 6-pack wherever and go back to the houseboat. It's
a 3-day weekend for sure. So I mean, you could do that. And the brewery, I mean, the brewery was a standalone brewery prior to moving out there, and had won awards for its stuff, and then they agreed to move out on site. So this award-winning brewery, who I did get to try one of the beers when I was there, had a corgi on the kill here. And he's a chatty boy. But beer was good. I mean, the one I tried, it's like it was pretty good. Would have liked to have tried more, but we were going to be spending time at the distillery, so that was not a good idea.
That's fair. A different destination thing that I would put up is might have had a little different part of the list as well too, but it would be, and we've said it before, if you're into gin, Dancing Goat Distillery's gin class is something that I think you should stop in and take a look at. Even if you're just trying to understand distilling, it's a great way to get a hold of a small concept in a day and create something yourself that you get to have that's unique and special.
Yes.
So that is, even if you're not into gin, it's a neat learning experience to have all that stuff on hand. And if you are into gin, it's, I mean, hell. I mean, that's like a heaven day then, really.
Yeah.
I can't.
And our friends the Ewalds have done it. So
yes.
That was on my list of things to mention that I don't have pictures of.
Yes. But
so the only ones I'd say to mention for getaways is just go to Louisville itself. I mean, if you like bourbon, you got to go to Kentucky, but go to Louisville, go hang out downtown. There's really great bars down there. The last time we were there, we just walked the little storefronts around and went to Buzzard's Roost, which I'll talk about them more later. Went to Buzzard's Roost and hooked up with Ethan there, who was on the show, and we did a behind the scenes tour with that, and then went to Bardstown and did a tasting at Bardstown. And then we walked down the Peerless to see if John was working, and then we came back and we stopped at Michter's, and then we ended up going to the bar, which is upstairs at Michter's, and then we went to another one down the street. I mean, they're just like all of these things in walking distance down there that you can do that alone.
Copper and Kings along that list as well too. There's a whole it's a really neat slew of things you can check out in a small area.
Yes, and make sure you go eat at Bourbon's Bistro. Their friend Jason, co-owner of Buzzard's Roost. Bourbon's Bistro is one of the best damn meals you're going to ever have, and if you get to sit out by the fire, that's even better.
Even if it's winter, it's worth it.
It's 100% worth it.
Bats on the fire, and it's awesome.
Throwing old Louisville bats on there. Texas is another getaway because you can go. Texas Whiskey Trail is massive. Texas is big, but start your way through there. Start from the north and work your way south, and you go Iron Root, Balcones, go all the way down to Austin for Still Austin, go over to San Antonio, hit Ranger Creek up. All people who have been on the show, all people who make whiskey that we really like. I would highly recommend that.
And there's other people in between.
Yeah, that's just a straight line.
Yeah, there's other people along that line that have some very unique stuff too, that we've had and that we've been told about.
Yes, yeah. And actually, when I was at the Iron Roof 10th anniversary, at least half dozen people mentioned this other distillery that was like 20 minutes away, but they were going to close, before they're like, oh yeah, you got to try it. And I kept hearing about, all right, well, I got another one to mark off. And another getaway, which we've talked about repeatedly, Colorado. And you can do Colorado's awesome anyway, but between, hitting Leopold, Deerhammer, 291, 10th Mountain, you're in just beautiful country. I mean, the whole time.
Laws is out in there as well too.
And Laws, yeah. And then the other couple ones be, Wisconsin in general, just because all the Wisconsin distilleries that we've had on here, including Wallersheim, which is one that I'll talk about later with their stuff. Wallersheim is absolutely beautiful. I haven't seen it in person, but Pat has. But the pictures look great. And then
of there, yes, it's very picturesque. As far as if you were a wine person, you completely understand the whole area, and it just gives you a very relaxed feel and vibe to it. But the whole area over there it's supposed to have a little bit different energy to it from certain sections. It has like a different feel, and a lot of times you can kind of tell. But part of that's the way it looks. It's you do feel like you're in a vineyard and having a special day. You walk in, they read into restaurants, so you can pick up small amounts of food like pretzels or other stuff for an actual meal and take it out onto the field and hill. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And the last place I'd mention is go and hit some California ones. And I would say definitely go up to Northern California, go up there and go to Chico, beautiful, tiny Chico, California, and see our friends at the Golden Beaver. And also venture out to some other California distilleries, because there's some other good ones down there like Corbin Cash. I mean, it's a few hours away from there, but hey, who doesn't want to take a little drive down through California? Maybe avoid some areas, but you do. but you could go down, do some historical stuff. And talking with Chris Koenig, the owner of Golden Beaver, he was talking a lot about Bakersfield, and Buck Owens Bar is still there, and Buck's Cadillac is hanging up there, and there's still lots of live music and stuff that takes place over there too. So, Neil's got to go into Cedar Ridge. That's another picturesque spot. So. That's all the ones I want to mention for destinations, but there are probably 500,000 more of them that.
Well, and the hard thing with that is when you think destinations, I'm thinking like may have 2 or 3 things in an area where you can hit up in a spot. Cedar Ridge that's just a fantastic stop if you're into whiskey in general.
Yeah, they make a pretty good whiskey. They do okay. Did you have any other destinations, or want to move on to?
I'm actually, I've only been starting to look into this because there may be a Florida trip coming up for my family at some point for 2 different reasons, but there may be. So when I'm looking more in Florida, I'm intrigued and I have to look more into this, but I'm intrigued by the distilleries there. Most of them are rum, but I'm going to look into that, because for as many distilleries as there are in some of these cities or even smaller cities, I haven't heard too much fluff or excitement. You know what I mean? Coming out of Florida rums. But
Florida's not known for their fluffers.
Yeah, well, it's Key West, but it's just interesting. You know what I mean? Because like I was looking at like Tampa Bay or Fort Myers or Fort Lauderdale, and they each have like 2 or 3 distilleries. And I'm like, really? That is intriguing, kind of neat to see. Yeah. But I'm like, of course, a lot of rum, but I don't know, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm going to look more into, but it's a side thing, kind of like if you're in tequila, there might be a different place too. If you're going to do the Southwest, I feel like if you can hit up Santa Fe, and I think you can go all the way down to Whiskey Del Bach. I don't know. There's a southern little whiskey trip in that area over there in the Southwest as well.
If you go to Del Bach, spend some time spend some time down there in Tucson, including going to the missile silo and the airplane boneyard and the museum, the Air Force Museum. Totally worth it. Couple of things which I do want to mention too is don't overlook local and regional festivals as well. I know just from our little group here that's on the camera sometimes is, there's the Omaha Whiskey Fest, there's Des Moines, Iowa, there's Kansas City has more than one. St. Louis
has a really nice one.
St. Louis has a winter one coming up.
Yep. The other destination, I'd hit up on the kind of the Southwest if you were gonna do like a South Carolina. I don't know. I was gonna say
Southeast
Georgia, like a Southeast. There could be a neat Atlanta, then out to the coast, and then kind of hit up a little bit between there, and you could hit up about 3 or 4 pretty outstanding places.
Great Wagon Road likes to party.
And I was gonna say, and so does you could hit High Wire. You could add in on the coast there too.
Go to Catoctin Creek and then go up the road to the Guar Bar.
So I'm just saying, like,
I want to go to the Guar Bar.
The Southwest has a neat little trip in there that is filled. You could fill up with every stop. It's going to be a pretty damn good stop.
Yeah.
And actually, we saw our former co-host Benji was down in, I think it was Greenville recently, and he went to a distillery and they were doing rum but with agave. He was impressed. He was impressed and happy with what they were doing for being as young as they were. So I'm intrigued because it's neat to see that agave get turned into rum, because it has a different. For me, it always has a different viscous feel to it when you're getting it in tequila and stuff. So I want to see what happens in a rum. So
yeah.
Oh, the chef's in the house.
The chef is here. Everyone.
Yeah. Stop out at the food truck. There's a destination.
That would be really fun. Road trip to Moorhead. Okay.
Cool.
Do you want to get into whiskeys? Into
whiskeys themselves?
Yeah.
I didn't do too much in that, so I'll let you jump into that. I'll toss a couple in as we go.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right.
I looked at a couple other things.
Some of these you can order, even though they are at the distillery. They have made the means to ship outside their state. Ones we have gushed about in the past, but they have a presence and distribution, and not even alphabetically, just the first one on the list. Our friends at Buzzard's Roost. Talk about transparency. We buy our stuff from MGP, but then we do something totally different with it. And guess what? They're winning awards with it, and it's good. It is good whiskey. You can get Buzzard's Roost shipped to just about anywhere. And also Buzzard's Roost is not going to break the bank. So I highly recommend that you check out our friends at Buzzard's Roost, which I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw a link in the chat again there. I'm probably going to piss Emily off for doing that, but I'm doing it anyway. Another one of our favorites that will ship to a lot of places is the good old Deer Hammer. So yeah, please show Deer Hammer love if you like American single malt. Dear God, and Deer Hammer loves using chocolate malt, and that chocolate note comes across really nice on their whiskeys.
They have some absolutely brilliant whiskeys, or single malts, but that smoked corn whiskey.
That smoked corn is so good.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is so good.
Fucking awesome.
And when they have done the port finish, like they have the port cast finish on there, it is a well done port. It's not a bomb. It's Lenny's good on the flavors. He can distill, and he's really good on the flavors. Another one, which we had previously mentioned, is our friends at Golden Beaver, and they have a partnership with someone that you can get on there and you can ship through them to outside of California. Or if you go to California, Costco's in their area carries, I know, the Biba Soju and the Beaver Liquor, and I think the gin and vodka as well. I could be wrong there, but yes. You want to talk about something unique and also a gift for somebody, and you have them try it. It's like, oh, this is made with rice. Yeah, you're damn right it is. It's really good. So do not sleep on that one.
It's made with the best rice.
Yeah, but even better, go check the place out. Because they have the Still House, which is their restaurant slash. It's a cocktail lounge. Then you can do, of course, and they make fun of everything, of their stuff, but they have beaver shots for $1 and things like that. So they have great sense of humor and the money. They have helped raise a lot of money to bring back the Golden Beaver in California. So that's really, really cool that they're doing that. Another one, we talk about these guys all the time, and for good reason. They're really freaking good. This is the kicker though. You can order your whiskey off of Iron Root, but they cannot ship because Texas. But guess what? They'll hold it for you and you go and pick it up. So that's not a bad thing. You can go and order a few, because also if you go to Texas law says you can only buy 4 whiskeys per month directly from a distillery. But you can go to the liquor store and load up your trunk. So what's the difference in those two? Lobbyists. That's the difference between those two. But you can order online all throughout the year and then just go pick them up.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It makes you make a trip, and it doesn't make when you go so much of a punch in the face either, because you've already paid for 2 or 3 bottles.
Our friend Jesse in the chat has done that a couple times when I was down there, and I was happy to mule them back. So, mules exist. Another one, kind of the same boat, but you will not be disappointed, is our friends at Glens Creek. They'll hold stuff in, they call it their vault. So you can go to Glens Creek and they'll hold it for you, but they cannot ship. But you can always find some oddball things with Glens Creek, but like for instance, the Sweet, the second one over on the top row, the Sweet, which is a really good wheat whiskey. Then you can also get the Sweet hand filtered, and then there's also another one that is it has another name for it, but anyway, it's the other two are cast strength, and it's really good. And OCD5 has been one of my favorites for a really long time. So I also would highly recommend Glens Creek. And also, if you're going down there and you go visit the Glens Creek, then if you're lucky, you can get there on a time when they're going to do a tour of the grounds, of the old Crow grounds. Also, they are just down the road from Castle and Key and Woodford and Buffalo Trace, all that in Frankfurt. They're right by. So you can go do a nice big tour there. One of the other ones that you can ship is our good old friend Todd Leopold, who should be on the show here soon. We're getting it all worked out. But Leopold Brothers, I don't think they can mess anything up if they tried. But Leopold Brothers now does ship. So you can get stuff through a partner shipping their things out of Colorado, including they've got some 375s available of the 3-chamber. So you don't have to buy a whole expensive bottle of it, and I think they got a 375 of something else as well. So I definitely recommend them. And these are just the top ones on the list that I was coming up with, because there's a lot of stuff to go through. But there's another one recently on the show, and the timing is good. Shriner, the rye, you can order the rye. It's $19 shipping if it's 1 bottle or 5. So the rye is available. The gin just became available last week. So
I love the gin.
Tasted those on the show. They're both really good. That gin is it's different than it's a gin for people who don't like gin, but it's also a gin for people who do like gin. So
it's
a
just
rye,
has a neat
rye-based
twist.
gin.
And
Yeah.
it's so bright and effervescent on some of the parts. It keeps your mind and body working through it. It's not heavy juniper or anything like that, where you get that. Sorry, that's what brings down a lot of gins.
Yeah.
It's almost 2-4 like that. That was almost like hinted at in this, with just that other stuff just being so vibrant. It was.
Yeah.
I really thought it was something different in the gin world, but like you said, I think it appeals to as being just interesting and good in general.
Yes.
If not better. I really enjoyed that one.
And as a gift for somebody, especially someone who likes to, hey, here's a great thing that's got a great story behind it. Not a made up story. So this is a legit thing. And another one that I have on there, which also not made up story, which I don't have a picture of, unfortunately, is Rolling Fork. Turner's got a strong and legit family history in Kentucky distilling, even though Rolling Fork is the rum. And then now there's the Bourbon Deluxe brand resurrected. And then he also does imports brandies as well. So that's another one, not a made up story. Another one, which is a good story. Not everything gets shipped out of Pennsylvania, though, unfortunately, is Stoll and Wolf. Stolen Wolf, a lot of people heard of it because they heard of the legendary and master distiller Dick Stoll. And Dick, who Eric brought on board to get this old Pennsylvania distillery up and going. And Dick was the last person to distill Rose and Rye. And so they do have some of the stuff of Rose and Rye that Dick, he had distilled and aged. They had aged before he passed away. So the few things that I have had from Stolen Wolf, including new make of the Rose and Rye, it's really good. So I would recommend getting that one, because that's also a good story too, because Dick came from the old Michters that made some of the most classic and wonderful whiskey that was ever made, and he was just doing his job. He's not a rock star. The guy was just doing his job. So yeah, that's my whiskey recommendations with pictures. Everything else, I would just say, if you're gonna try to buy a gift, get a single barrel pick for somebody, like a single barrel from Peerless or Knob. Knob single barrels are solid. So are Russell's Reserve. Maker's single barrel picks can be really darn great too. And if you're traveling out of state, then I would go to bring something that's local to you, to whoever it is that you're going to go visit. I've got a few distilleries around me that I'd be happy to take them over to somebody else, but that's always a good gift to give somebody. That's something that they cannot get.
Yeah, it'll make you feel better. Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't delve into the whiskeys too much this year. Those are all excellent ideas, and they're able to be gotten. But like what you were saying is, if you're getting it as a gift, get something unique that the person may not be able to get, or may not be able to find, or just has it. Like, really, you can get Golden Beaver, but that might not be something someone's looking up right away, and it's something unique, and it'll twist someone's head. And that's always what I love, that part of it. I don't know. Let's see here. You had a whole slew of pictures up.
I'm sorry. I guess there's a lot of
good.
things I'd recommend for the accessories and stuff. I think you should go, because I've been talking a lot.
That's totally fine. I can understand that. When I was going through, there it went. A couple things as far as like whiskey people I thought would like. I'm going to put up one here. This is an aroma training kit. I went with the Aroma Academy. Yes, they are from overseas, but they are used by a ton of big major brands. And what you're getting is very secure. Plus, you don't have to just get, this one is for whiskey. They have one for rum, one for wine, one for gin, and they also have a false aroma kit. Now, there are some other ones in the U.S. that are excellent as well too. This is just one that I saw, and had used in the past, and I really enjoyed it. I thought what they put together was a solid set, and I like the fact that they came out with a kit that was a false kit, because that's the thing you might, once you start getting into it, that's something you don't always understand. Um, it may even be something you like in a whiskey, but you find out it's a mistake or something that's maybe slightly frowned upon in general. But I don't know. I've gotten some rummy notes in some whiskeys, and I didn't mind the dark rum note in it, though. Apparently, that's not. There's a little, could be a little something to that might not be right. So it's neat to find out where certain things fall in, and I just thought having the ability to get a false kit was something that was really intriguing. So I liked that. That was something I thought was a neat gift for someone. And the size of what they had, let me go back to that. It was only about like 24 cents. There's some that are out there that were giving you 82 or 106. That, good luck. Okay. Because that's just, I think that's a lot to focus on, especially for the average person getting into stuff. I guess if you're getting into it more, or have always enjoyed scents or perfumes or anything like that, then maybe that route, it just seems just a little over the top when you're going with 82, two different options. But that was something I thought that actually helps train your senses. And when we're talking about like connective words, really is how to describe something. Well, this is another way to help you find those connective words because it puts it in front of you. This is this, this is this, this is this. Maybe not exactly, but it'll help you start to pull the associations quicker. So it's pretty neat. So also, one of the other things I was going at for just like an accessory is there was a website that I really thought had some neat stuff this year. It was homewetbar.com is the name of the place, but they had this part. It's speakeasy do-it-yourself cocktail infusion kit. So it actually comes with all the stuff you need to do like little smoking or infusing, but it has some different types of woods.
That's a good looking kit.
Yeah, it looks professional, and you can actually get all the pieces customized. Like that Miller, you can customize that to what you want it to be. Same thing with some glasses and stuff. So you can really make this look cool for like an extra maybe $30. It's normally like $159. Right now it's like $109 or $119. So you want to throw some of your graphics on it, might be back up to $140, but it looks sharp when it comes out. You have the measuring cup, little funnel. You can already have your pre-made whiskey or drink with it that you want to smoke. It's got the and it comes with the smoker, and the smoker looks sharp. I don't know, just the whole kit looked nice comparatively, and it gives you a chance to really play with some of the stuff you're doing. So I thought it was neat. It comes with the little stirrers as well too. I mean, it has the spoons, little cubes. It has pretty much everything you need to play with it, except for maybe like cocktail shakers and stuff. But as far as the smoking was there, and it wasn't overboard, because that's the thing with some of them. And I happen to see I got one that it was too powerful. Like I think it was made for smoking meats. It just had too much juice.
A weed burger.
It was that thing. It filled up a whole room too quick at one point where it was just a section. But I mean, this I thought was very tight and lets you kind of learn how to play with it a little bit to see how you could affect stuff with that manner. So I thought that was a neat kit. But that was that website was really cool because I have the other thing from there that I thought was a really neat gift. Now it's like a leather bag, but it's a travel bag for whiskey. So you can fit 6 bottles on the outside that all have protection. You can fit probably 3 more in the middle if you wanted to, or anything else you wanted to fit in there. So this I thought was a great travel bag for whiskey if you're going places, or if you were going to, let's say, a show or something. Bringing everything all in a very sharp looking bag like this for, I think it was only $130, I thought was really cool. Because you get those ones that look like they're cloth bags from the grocery store, and everyone puts a logo on them, and that's what you bring stuff home in, and you feel like the bottles are going to fall through the bottom, or they're going to start clanking against each other. I just thought this was a really nice kind of way for bringing stuff over to someone else's house or going on a trip. I mean, 6 bottles is enough to bring a lot of places, unless you're Mitch and Morgan, is enough bottles to bring a lot of places.
He does sometimes use a couple of these things.
Yes.
So he looks like the world's coolest mailman when he shows up.
But it looks very professional. It looks sharp, and for what you're paying for one that would be in between, you're paying $70. I think paying this and have it look really nice and well done is. I thought it was neat. I thought it was something I would definitely love getting. And if you were in the business of traveling places and doing shows, you can fit a lot of stuff in your one bag in there. Like I said, 6 bottles. Probably other things to put on the table that could almost be half of what you need in one bag. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, very cool.
Not very often many things kind of catch my eye, but I was like, okay, it looks a little like a Merce, but it also looks like it's big enough that it looks like a bag. It's, a real, well, you're fitting 6 bottles. It's wide,
If they laugh at you, they don't get any. That should be the rules.
That would be funny. Once again, you can think $10 you can put initials on it if you want to as well too. Just make it a little more personalized for the person that's getting it. That was really sharp. So I think if you check out that website, they do have a few other things on there that are neat. You can do obviously glasses, bottles, decanters. Decanters are something that are neat. I think if you got a really sharp looking one or one that had, like inscribed something on it, but I think a really cool decanter is something that's awesome. That's true, Paul. You got to wear the hat though when you're going to places, but that I do agree. I mean, we're going to make a video where we start taking the metal head off and try to leave like an iron root behind or something.
Yeah. It's like when you're stealing whiskey.
You should do that, but we're leaving boons behind. Like, they're gonna be pissed.
Now, that's just mean. That's just mean. All right. I'll do one. Well, I'll start off with one that I'd mentioned this the last time we did this 3 years ago, and I still stand by every single bit of that to what I said, and that is my Noser glass. And I'm going to I will put that one up. I'll put the link up on there. This glass I have had for at least 6 years. It is double wall stainless steel. The inside is shaped like that famous tasting glass that a lot of people like to use, but you can drop it. And it doesn't break. It is dishwasher safe, travels very nicely. I have the satin black one. Mine's got some little dings here and there to it over the years, but you know what? It's a great glass. It is nice for when you want to hold on to the glass, and also if you do want to actually nose your whiskey, while you're outside, where you don't have to worry about what happens if I drop this. Am I going to break my glass? So I will bring this one up again. I put the link in the chat. And if I remember correctly, when I pulled the site up, they had a thing for 25% off. So if you click on the link on there, that's nice because it does knock the price of that glass down because it's like $25 for the glass. So, hey, save money as you can, right? Yep. The other thing that I always recommend is not only flasks. Neil says he's got those too. Yeah, they are. Their glasses are nice. I've got several different flasks, but these are a couple of my favorites. One of them, I did get this Stanley kit. And I'll tell you here, just so you know, I'm not lying. So this kit, which has this container that comes with 4 cups, and really it's 5 cups because you can also pour into that one too. It goes with me when I go somewhere and taking something. This kit goes with me all the time. This flask, not as much, and I'll tell you why. Is filling these with the smaller holes on there, even with the funnel, sometimes are a pain. But I use this type of a flask for durability. The one I take more than any other one, and if you could find it, I would get it, because look how that sucker opens right there for filling. This flask it's great. It's plastic. It does still have the screw top on it. The one thing that I will say though, is I found, and I've probably had this one for at least 5 years too, is the one weak point is it's kind of over time, but if this thing gets knocked, there's a good chance that this snap might loosen up just a little bit, which is, not good. But I have a simple fix that I do, and I just had the light turned off on me. So now I'll put some light back on there we go. That's not even as good. But I just take and again, I don't use this every day. This is for outdoors and stuff. I just put a rubber band on it. That's no big deal. And again, it's plastic. It drops. You drop it, it's okay. But yeah, between these two, I'd say I take the cups with me more than anything. And then this is my, if I'm going out somewhere where I know there's a good chance I'm going to drop something, I do take this one, and it's super easy to fill. It's so easy with that flip top. You mentioned a bottle carrier, and I had been trying to find the perfect bottle carrier for Mike, and I thought I found one, and then I started using this next one more, and I'll put the link in the chat first, but it is the Aged in Ore kit. And I'll tell you what I've got here. I recommend checking it out. 2 things. One, for traveling, you've got this cup.
Actually, the small zipper one. Yeah. I get you.
Hold on one second.
Daddy's doing a show.
Yeah. Oh, hey, look, there's some light. Anyway, so there's the one kit, which is this little bundle of joy right here. So you open this up, and what you have is a 3-ounce sample bottle that has a silicone sleeve on it and a glass that it fits in. And this thing is it's really nice. I have not tried to drop the glass because I don't want to. But they fit together really nice in this little kit. Zipper up. So you got 3 ounces in the glass to take with you. Travel somewhere. It's got a little loop here so you can hook it onto your stuff. This is nice. But what I have found that I'm doing more, because I have a couple of these, is I have the Aged in Ore sample sets, which I'll pull their main screen back up again. And there's a real good reason that I'm going to pull that up. Oh, there you go. So if you see, well, I'll turn it off again just so you can see it. So
oops, sorry.
It's 4 of these 3 ounces. Okay. They all have silicone sleeve. They're clear through one side. And they got the measuring on there, but they come with a white marker to write on the glass. The only thing I would say is if your glass has any kind of oilish residue, it is not going to write very well. My workaround is I just make like a little mark with the marker, and then I just smear it with my finger, and then it writes on there just totally fine. But these are great, and these are also TSA compliant. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to travel, the 3-ounce size is TSA compliant. And so on Aged in Ore, you see on the left the Bottle Flight. That's the 4 bottle set, and then there's the Traveler. Well, and they've got this caddy, which that actually looks really cool. But if you jump all the way over to the right, they have the Travel Bundle where you save a couple bucks. And I had gotten another set of these for a friend of mine, and they had a deal where if it was free shipping, if it was $100, so then I had somebody else tag along something that they wanted, and so then we got free shipping, which was cool because then it saved us some money. But the Travel Bundle is the Neat Traveler and the Bottle Flight, and recently they have now come out with this Bottle Flight XL, which are 4 6-ounce bottles, not TSA compliant. But what I found though, instead of going places some places where I would just grab like 2 or 3 bottles, I might instead take 4 3-ounce samples with me, or 8 3-ounce samples with me to go somewhere instead of hauling the bottles. And it comes in that really nice case. So it's pretty sweet. Yeah, Neil said they have the bottle flight as well. It's very nice for traveling, and it's super convenient. And I tell you, the material wise, this is really nice. It's really, the case is hard, but it's got a nice fabric cover on it. It's padded on the inside. Those cups are silicone sleeved on there. They come off pretty easily for washing. It is one of my favorite things to use, and that there's a reason I have 2 sets of them, and then I've given them away for gifts. But a couple other things that I would also recommend is, along with signing up for Maker's Mark ambassadorship, which is free, sign up for it or sign somebody up for it. But Maker's Mark, and Heaven Hill's doing this also, but you can go on Maker's Mark and you can get a custom bottle label, and they'll ship it to you for free. The label's free. They ship it to you for free. It takes about 2 weeks. So somebody who is a Maker's Mark fan, you can pick the holiday pattern and send it off to them, which is pretty cool. I would also recommend coming up with getting a book that someone can use for tasting notes. Either one specifically designed, or get them like a nice leather open journal. Or another thing I would also recommend as far as accessories is a bar tool, like something that you can use for a lot of stuff. One that I keep around, I have a couple of little knives, little stubby, very sturdy knives, because you don't need a lot if you're just trying to cut that wax around the top or break that seal. You don't need your Jack Hawk 9000 for that. But I also do. I've got this. It's a Gerber armbar that has. It's small, so I can also take it with me. It's got a little bottle opener on it. It's got a pair of scissors. It's got a fairly sharp knife, and it's in a pretty compact thing, so you can always throw it in a pouch to take somewhere for a bar tool. That's it. Yeah, for actual accessories, those are all I've got, which I know is a lot. but I would also tack on a tasting experience to piggyback on like what you did. Get someone a tasting experience where they're either going somewhere to do that tasting experience, which there are places to do that, or sign someone up for executive bourbon steward. Or do one of the classes, or buy one of those kits. Or the other thing is make one for them. Make a tasting experience for somebody as a gift.
Well, and as far as going someplace and finding someone a trip or doing something like that, a good place to start, there's distillerytrail.com will show you a lot of the distilleries in every state. But if you go to a state's distillers guild, they'll break it down, and sometimes they have like a pass that when you go to different distilleries in the state, you'll get extra discounts. You'll get free tours, you'll get 20% off of bottles, you'll get something else extra. So when it's another place to find something that has a little bit of a niche to it. I would check out the state's distillers guilds, because sometimes they do have a neat kind of add-on that you can get. And so I was going to say that'd be a place you can find something else that's have a little twist to it. The other thing I didn't mention when I was talking about the kind of home bar stuff was I would get a sample, and I'm going to use Bitter Cube because they're Wisconsin and I know them, a sample set of bitters, not just the standard bitters, but a unique set. Like there you'll get probably 5 or 6 different ones for like $40, and they will really change the way you think about adding bitters to stuff, because just normal versus orange versus a chocolate bitters versus, I mean, there's a couple other ones that I've had that have really torqued the results, or it allowed you to play with stuff. So if they were into the cocktail world, I would do a bitters tasting kit where you get 5, 6 different ones, because just making the same drink, you can totally change the results of 4 splashes that go into it.
The only other thing that I have, which is I've got it kind of as an accessory, but really it's more of an experience, is sign someone up for, or ask to be signed up for, a food class, because one, you can learn about things to pair with. Two, you're going to learn about flavors.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you get really curious about, wanting to know, and, you can, since we have a chef in the chat, you have his, if he will pipe in with his opinion on that, of having you take a class or learning how foods and flavors pair and spices work. That might help you out on your journey, but also it'd be really freaking fun, because you could make some food and then go, I wonder what would be good with this. You just turn it into in your own little tasting experience too.
Yeah, I would. Like you said, it adds, and for us and for me, it adds in the Fat Boy tasting note repertoire.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You start pulling some of those words.
It would be, you know what? It would be so cool if we could have our Fat Boy tasting note Christmas kit, and it was just like, it was Aldi cereal and Ho-Hos and chocolate and everything else, and then just like a list of whiskeys to go buy. It's like, here you go. And somebody's like, what did somebody, they sent you like a kid's summer camp care package. That's basically what it would look like.
Yeah, and it worked every day.
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Diabetes.
Yes. Oh man, I'm just dying here.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else do we have? Where was my list? I had lists all over the place.
I've gone through my whole list and talked a lot, and I'm sure people are like, "Shut up." But...
No, I'm pretty close. I had a couple of those as well. Other places for the like a nosing kit. Bourbon Real Talk had a nice one, and Aero Master had one. Whiskey Ball kit. Oh, well, look at that.
That doesn't sound bad. But don't drink out of the bottle, because I'm sure that would just leave a bunch of crap around top of it.
What's that stuff in the bottle?
Were you drinking out of the bottle? No.
That looks like very heavy oils in the bottom of this.
Yeah.
They've really congealed.
There's a shell floating in the bottle of the Booker. It's like talking to a toddler. Did you do that? No, I didn't do that. Cheese all over your face.
It was someone else. Let's see. Dancing Goat, if you're into light whiskey, released a 23-year-old light whiskey just today. But you have to go there to get it. A little pricey for me, but that is one of those neat things. And light whiskeys are usually pretty damn tasty lately. We've had a slew of theirs as they've been aging, and they've all been very, very good. So that'd be another one. But yeah, I think I'm good with that. I was gonna say I got a couple things on there that I liked. You hit on a couple. The whiskeys, where to get a lot of those now is neat, because that was not there in the past. Far North is another one you can get. Their rye series is out. That would be something that would be cool to get into, to get about 3 or 4 bottles of those and try that, because when we talked to him a few years ago, he only had 17 different varieties of rye. And he now, I know, has a few more as well too. One was like a foreign Nordic one. I think it was from Finland. And sorry, that's just neat to see someone playing the way you think you would play. Like, well, here's my climate. What's your climate? What do you use? Can we, rather than going, well, let's try something from the South. It doesn't work, but let's try to get this thing to fucking work. Like, it's not. Stop it. So I like people taking a practical business approach to some stuff sometimes. So, but no, I've got those couple things I had. I think I would be really happy to get. And like you said, the travel stuff you have, I liked your stuff too, especially the inside the glass you have. That's either rubber or wooden on the outside. That's metal. That is a fantastic camping glass. You have it out anything. You can. Don't be afraid of dropping some ice cubes in it. You can use it for something else. it's a very versatile piece. I like that one a lot.
And I know there's a it's not official, it's a copycat. Someone did a silicone version of a Glencairn. I was interested in trying one of those out, but my concern with it would be how thick is the silicone, because if it's too pliable, and if you're with your friends, and friends do things to each other, it doesn't matter. You could have friends who are very upstanding citizens, and if there's an opportunity to be a jackass, someone's going to be a jackass, because that's just what friends do. But I've got one of the stemless wine glasses, a silicone one that's way too pliable. And so, number one, it's very easy to squeeze it too hard and make the liquid come out yourself.
Oh,
it's convenient that you can turn it into a taco shape and pour it into your mouth. But if you were trying to drink out of it and somebody walks up to it and goes, "Hey," and squeezes it, yeah, that's not very good. Plus, I don't know how good it would be over the long term to be drinking alcohol out of a silicone glass, but it looks interesting anyway. I'd like to talk to someone who's actually got it, because I'm curious how well it works, and if there's a weird
system
smell to it.
Well, yeah, and you're putting alcohol in it. Does it eventually start eating away at anything?
I mean, yeah, like a lot of other materials,
65, 70%.
You don't use them as a coffee cup because it stains, and then you don't really get the stain out of it. Yeah. That's about right.
We could do it. It's been a while since we had a show like that. We may need
We'll do a jackass episode. Oh God. Where each of us has a remote control to a shot collar for the other one.
No, I think this could be a live thing.
I'd like to taste this whiskey. Yeah.
That was my bottle. Pan down.
Yeah. Don't even drink anything. You're just peeing yourself. Anyway.
Someone's just being a dick, grabbing onto someone else. Watch. Go ahead. Tase me again.
Yeah. Or hand the button to a toddler.
Now
there you go.
Now me. Now all three of us.
Yeah. But yeah, and I say the travel ones, I can't recommend the Age to North stuff enough. It is very well done, very well built, and super convenient for taking the stuff somewhere. Even just getting this with the one single 3-ouncer, and this comes in other colors too. It comes in multiple colors, but the kit only comes in gray, but individually you can get whatever.
Mm-hmm. One other thing here, because I had it here. There was a slew of things.
You had a slew?
A slew. I heard back from Sarah at Northern Waters. We're going to work on getting Jake on the show, where we talk about that peated malt. But they also had a flavored whiskey and a couple other a new wheat and a rye, and an almond extract, plus an organic cherry juice. So there's some other different stuff coming when we do this tasting. Once I get a chance to get up there and grab some bottles from them, but they're doing. I'm glad to see they're doing some other neat things that have a twist on it. You know what I mean? Not. I was gonna say it's not just the standard stuff all the time. It's always something that's got a little oomph. Plus that peated one. I'm gonna be getting that out to other people. That is an awesome American single malt from a really small place, doing peat in a really good way. Really, really good way. Sorry, that was one of those highlight things that I was really happy about when I had that. So.
Yeah, I missed that one.
Oh, well, you get to have it now, though. So.
Well, that's true.
That's true. But I'm good for the evening, and I think we'll probably let people go because we've been on an hour too. So
I am, yeah, and only a couple things to mention though. We have there's 2 events that are coming up this week. The first event is Repeal Day, so
yes,
celebrate the only way you know how, and also Pat's got a birthday.
Oh, it's right after Repeal Day.
Yeah.
So I mean, there was some drinking the day before, and there was more glories the next day. It carried over. My mom held out.
There's drinking involved in the conception and the birth.
So, all right. Well, thank you, Mike, and everyone in the chat. Thank you for stopping in and checking out this episode. We really appreciate it. And we will see you later this month for some other fun episodes. Make sure to check us out then. Remember, it's not the size of the den that matters. It's the love of whiskey. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.